G'day everyone, welcome to the Outside Man podcast.
We're back.
Origin 3 special recap.
Go the Blues!
Oh my gosh, we'll get to that in a sec. But what a series.
Oh.
Even though Queensland lost, if you haven't watched it or been living under a rock or whatever.
Big rock.
Why are you watching this podcast?
Why are you watching
it? Origin. If
you-
you're lost, just hit subscribe and like, and that'll be great.
So if you are new, welcome. Hit that like, subscribe like Josh just said. And we're the Outside Men podcast, the Layman's Guide to Rugby League, Origin 3 special.
Yeah.
Alright, let's kick off.
Over to you, Jace. You take the crown.
How you feeling?
What a game. Excited. It was just so good. Since 2005, I've been waiting for this moment.
Decider win.
Decider at Suncorp. Even before the win, at the 60-minute mark, that was probably the best Origin game I've ever watched.
That first half.
It was like a 60-minute softening up period.
It was literally a 40-minute warm-up against the opposing team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
absolute
was,
arm wrestle. Couple of points here, couple of points there.
Yeah.
And then a couple of sneaky tries. Bam, bam, all over.
Yeah.
Queensland in tears.
So good defence. Queensland on their line, the Blues at the 20-metre mark. The defence was amazing. Yeah.
There was only one little bit of controversy where there was a bit of a tussle between DCE and Jerome Luai, and then a couple of guys came off the bench,
Yeah.
get involved, and
Again, I think it's Klein. Klein send off roulette.
Why
Let's
did he have to
pick
send
a couple
anyone
of
off?
players. Let's get Murray on the field so we can send him off.
well, they were going to send him,
pretend,
not just
I know.
pretend, for the rest of the game.
Well, and that's because it goes back to the rule that has been around for many years, is that it probably should have, if they were going to be consistent, it probably should have, but I'm glad that they didn't.
Yes.
Because then we would have had the same issue we had after game one.
It would have just been a waste of time.
Why did anyone need to be sin binned?
No.
It should have been... It should have been...
Look,
They're trying to stamp it out. They don't want it. They don't want punch-ons. They don't want...
But then they'll advertise...
I don't even think there was any punch-ons.
I
There was just a bit of
advertise
aggression.
the concern, the only player, and admittedly I'm a Blues player, the only player that probably did something that made this whole thing escalate was Nanai. He didn't really need to come in. It was Cherry Evans on the eye. And then it blew up from there. I wouldn't have sent him, but it probably wasn't really needed to the extent of what he did. He didn't come in and just try and break it up. He came in and tackled him over the sideline into the bench. Look, I don't really care too much, but one thing was there was a lot of players on the bench in that scuffle. Burton was over there trying to break it up, but Burton was still there. Kafusi was on the field, and he was meant to be on the bench. So whether he got involved too much, he still shouldn't have been on the field.
I think the problem was they ran 20 or 30 metres to get involved, and then you had Olakau'atu who was in his
Olakau'atu should have got 10 weeks. That was ridiculous.
He got ejected from the game.
He couldn't even celebrate with them.
So that one I agree was beyond ridiculous. But yeah, I think.
Look, moving forward, at the end of the day, it is Origin. I'm not saying we're not talking about a head high. Head high here, the player's head is still ahead. But I think when you're talking about something, a little scuffle like that, it's State of Origin. They'll promo that stuff in years to come and go, oh, look how tough our sport is.
Yeah. You go through the preview for the Origin was all the high shots they got.
Yeah.
And
that's what
weeks on the sideline for.
Just a couple of stats I'd like to go through. Possession was 56 to 44 to the Blues, which equaled 33 minutes for the Blues in possession and 26 for the Maroons. And that kind of possession difference in State of Origin, I honestly think that the Maroons did well to stay within the grasp of what they did, only 10 points. And then that was the defining factor. We just couldn't get into the Blues red zone.
Yeah.
Our kicking game was very poor. Mitch Moses kicked Queensland out of the game, and
The DCE seemed to be a bit flat in spots.
Very flat, DCE.
Who was the other guy? Can't remember what I was going to say now.
Tom Dearden was the 5'8".
Tom Dearden was good,
but he was awesome. Tom Dearden was just,
My goods, he's awesome. He was. I think this series.
He was very good.
I know we talked about him a few weeks ago, and the comment was made that he's not an Origin player. I really think that he is. He's over this series, even though it was a losing team.
So tough.
I think he's got it. I think he's got what it's to take. I think a few of the older guys, it's probably time to move on now. DC's come out and said, I feel really good. My body's the best it's ever been. I don't know if that's, he's still really good, but, it might be time to start getting some of these younger guys.
I felt Munster carried him for a number of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It'll be a big call. I think Billy will want to stick with Daly for his experience. But traditionally, Queensland have put the next half on the bench, 14,
ready to go,
and
so maybe that's Ponga.
Well,
but he's not really going to be the halfback. So you'd think Walker would get a run on the bench if he plays.
Well, then, what do you do with Tom Dearden? Because Munster will be back next year.
Yeah.
And then, the issue that's stopping us there at 14 is you've had the Hunt and Grant combo. And they were both very flat this Origin series. They weren't their usual.
I don't like Harry Grant's really great, but
Is he a bit overrated?
I think the last few years of Origin he's been.
I think he's been injured though.
Yeah.
Well, he was injured. He had a sternum injury, and I think that game probably didn't help him. Where it's just a lot of.
Yeah, but even in club level, he does come up with a few errors and a few strange plays. Ben Hunt's getting a bit old, getting a bit on in the years now too. So,
Talking about player performance, Pat Carrigan topped the tackle count with 57 tackles. In state of Origin.
And most run meters.
It's incredible. Most run meters for Queensland. Dylan Edwards topped the Blues, 243. Liam Martin topped the tackle count with 37.
So there was one line break. One line break.
That goes to show you how tough that defence was.
I don't know how Mitchell Moses. I'm pretty sure that's a line break when he went through. There was a line there.
It was just nuts. And
so my thoughts of the game, just quickly, I think Queensland tried to play like New South Wales, and I don't think they picked the bench for it. I think that's where they fell down.
Missed a bit of size.
They picked a bench with speed, and then they tried to keep up that defensive attacking game, where the Blues were just playing the game for the players they had. They picked the bench for that. Lenu, Barnett, those guys were going to come and hammer. And I think Queensland just didn't swing it wide enough for the players they had. Speed, they were holding. The ref wasn't blowing any hold down penalties. Only when there was a couple of leg pulls and that sort of thing.
Do you think it was they waited too long to inject Ponga?
No, I don't think that worked. I don't think that experiment worked, and I don't think they should do that again. I spoke about
due to the game plan
because, and you know what, Billy Slater got outcoached.
Yeah.
Madge was like, mate, this is your second year coaching a football team. Let me show you how someone who's done this for years and years, and the mind games with all these banter and the glass houses, he rattled Billy Slater. As a Queenslander, it hurts me to say it, but he rattled Billy Slater, and Billy he got outcoached.
It's his first year, but he's an experienced coach. He's won a premiership. He's not.
I'm talking.
Yeah, but I'm saying it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like Freddie Fittler.
No, Madge, and that's what I was saying. Like Madge outcoached him. It's like the old fox. It's just like, all right, mate, it might be your second year at Origin coach. It might be my first year, but I've been around the block a few times, and he literally outcoached him.
Well, he coached New Zealand to that historic.
New Zealand bought the Bunnies a premiership. Didn't buy. Sorry, I shouldn't say bought. Brought.
Brought.
No, that's the Roosters.
That's not the Roosters. That's the sombrero. But overall, look, it hurts me to say it as a Queensland. Look, we won the last two series. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. Queensland, they tried. We didn't see that in game 2. We saw a
Game
team,
3 was a big step up.
their effort was
Game
there. It's just we got beaten by a better team at the end of the day. We got out-coached by the coach and
I think chuck Tino and Flegler in that team.
And Munster.
And there's the aggression that you're missing.
Tino, and what Cam Munster brings, and I know we talked up Tom Dearden, but what Cam Munster brings is when the game plan's not going according to plan, that's when Cam Munster's at his best, and we didn't have that in this. When it was 60-minute mark and the game plan wasn't going, that's where we needed a Cam Munster to come in and go, all right, this ain't working. And I believe Cherry Evans tried with that whole fist with, I think that was to try and just, hey, this game's just going tit for tat. I'm going to try and break something here.
He tried,
and it worked
but Munster can do it.
Munster can do it, and
the old kick in the head. It's who he is.
And we did miss. It's not an excuse because the Blues had players missing as well. But for Queensland, they'll Tom Gilbert. I know he didn't play last year as well. Missing him.
Those players with aggression. Real Origin play. You look at Lenu and Barnett, pure Origin, pure aggression came on.
Steamrollers.
That's what you're missing. Yeah.
So, well, that's...
I'm excited for next year already.
Yeah, bring it on. 10 months.
Could be 8 straight for New South Wales. I don't think so. We'll just send our worst team ever out there.
Crichton's only 23, so he's got a lot ahead of him.
Yeah, but well done, New South Wales. Definitely the better team this year.
Yep.
And it's exciting. It's good. Do you think New South Wales have finally got Origin? Do you think they've got the spirit?
They don't have the spirit.
We had it in 2005, and when Andrew Johns left, it disappeared. And now it's back.
It's back.
We
and you know who else is back?
Got it.
Cleary's back.
Cleary's back. Yeah. We'll talk about that next podcast.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all of that stuff, and we'll see you next episode.
Have a good life.